so today I'm going to be handling one of the most important things, which I have had a request from one or two people to talk about this topic. Now, it's about managing crisis. If you have a ministry of maybe of 10 or 20, or you manage a crowd or group of people of more than 100 people, you need to understand or to have the skills to be able to manage crisis. Now, it's very important for you to understand that crisis will always come, either eternal or external. It's very important that no matter whatever thing you have, whichever crisis is coming your way, you must know how to strategically handle it. If not, you are going to lose a lot of people. It's very, very sure. Crisis come for things to fall apart, for your knowledge, for your ability to be tested, and also for a way, it's a way also to push you forward to another level, to another dimension. Now, I'm going to be giving you 4 tips for you to manage crisis in the ministry. If you are a pastor, I'm talking to a pastor, I'm talking to a leader, I'm talking to a woman or man of God that is out there that has an issue in his ministry going on, internal and external, and doesn't know how to handle it. So the first point I'm going to give you is to handle crisis in a ministry. Whatever might be the crisis, whatever thing that it might be arising from your ministry, within or without your ministry, or with your people, the first thing you need to do is you need to suspend the activity. Now, I'll tell you, if something arises from your ministry, be it eternal or be it external, the first thing is you need to suspend every big or major program which you have within that time. Maybe give yourself 2 weeks at most. Suspend every big program, every big investment you want to do, anything that have already planned. Just suspend it. It's very important. It might be very hard for you to suspend it, but you have to be still at that particular moment. Let me tell you, if you have a crisis going on, your mind will not take good decision. If you move ahead with that plans, if you move ahead with that particular thing you want to do, you need to have stability first before you move ahead with every big program or every big plan that is coming your way. Let me tell you, there's something. When there was a storm arisen and the disciples were very, very mad, and what was Jesus doing? Jesus was sleeping. That made me to understand that at a time where there's a storm arising, you need to stay still. You need to stay still in order for stability to come. No matter what, if you are going through a crisis, if you take any major move, that move can either be a wrong move or it can be the right move. Now, let me tell you, 95% of the time is that you'll be moved by your current circumstances and your emotion. You will not clearly hear the word of God at that particular time because there is a instability lacking. Secondly, you will not be able to give a right judgment. And thirdly, you will not be able to trust your team. And your team will not be able to trust you. I will tell you something very important, that every team you're building, every organization, the first main thing is team building. And if your team start distrusting you about a particular thing that is arising about you, know that you will lose a lot of people. That gets me to my second point. My second point, if you have an internal or external crisis that is going on, you have to call your team, especially those that are close to you, and explain to them your side of the story. Do not ignore your leaders. Do not ignore anyone you call as your core member or your inner circle. It's very important for you to call them and have a general meeting where you explain from your own point of view what the situation is all about. Give them your truth. Let me tell you, it's very important. Those that are around your circle, either the innermost circle or the core circle, it's very important that you put them down, you tell them the truth before they start listening to things outside. Remember, in every conflict, you must have people that support you. And the first thing is you need to tell them the truth. What went wrong? What did you do? Now, the honesty about the thing is, as the first thing which you need to do as a minister or as a woman or a man of God, you're leading a congregation, you're leading a pastor, you're leading a pastoral group, whatever group or whatever church or ministry you're leading. The first thing is you must trust the people which you are a leader to them. The core people, your pastors, your fellow pastors, or the people which you have put in your leadership board. You must trust them, and you must know that God has bring you together with them for them to support you. Now, the first thing is be honest and tell them what happened, or be honest and tell them the side of your story, because I'll tell you, they are not stupid. They are not foolish. If they start hearing things and you don't call them to address this thing in the inner circle, things might actually go bad. Because the first people they want to hear from, maybe the congregation or other people outside they want to hear from your inner circle. They want to know what actually happened from your leaders around them. And the truth of the matter is, the response which your leader will give them is that which will fuel the fire behind that conflict, either to go to increase or to die a natural death. The first thing you need to do is to call your members, call your team members, and explain and be honest with them and tell them what happened. Remember, it's not all your congregation, your core leadership board, your leaders and your team. You need to explain to them what happened. You are not telling them what to do. You're not telling them what to react. And another very observation about a crisis when it comes is that it comes to truly shift, to sift who are those with you and who are those, the people that are not with you. Now, you can handle this thing very well, and you can preserve even those that are not with you, or those that were doubting you in a way, to still be with you. It all depends on your mode and how you handle this. The second point which I said is call them together and explain what happened. Thirdly, I want you to step down. That's the third point. I want you to suspend for the meantime you going to the pulpit to preach, or being as the main leader at that time. I want you to give yourself some time to calm down and let another person take over. Let me say for the next 2 weeks. Give yourself a 2 weeks break. This is not to show that you are defeated, or maybe you were accused of what you were accused of, but just to bring stability. That is my honest observation, which is my point of view. You can disclaim it, no problem, but that is my observation, that you need to step down and let others be. I'll tell you the reason why. Because people will always want to judge what is coming out of your mouth because of that situation. And the moment you start saying some things, because the truth about the matter is, you will be affected. Your emotions are going to be affected by anything that's happening around you. And if you continue to take program within that time, you might say something actually to implicate yourself. So the best thing you should do, which the third point is, hand over every major activity at that time happening in your church or organization to your next of kin, to your next, or maybe the vice president or your assistant pastor. Hand over every major activity to him or her to carry it out, for you not to get yourself implicated and to fuel more, to make things worse. All right, for the next 1 week or the next 2 weeks, and then you take it up to make the situation cool, to make things calm down, and to preserve your members. All right, so my number 4 point, I'm going to give you 4 points. My number 4 point, which I'm about to say to close this issue, is you need to seek God during this time. You need to go into the closet. You need to worship God, after which you have stepped down, after which you have handed over. You need to step down and you need to recall, you need to ask God, you need to pray to God if this is actually a new level in your ministry, if it's a temptation, or what you did wrong, or how to amend the situation, and a clear way forward for you to go. It's very important. Now, this might be a situation, a game-changing situation for you. How? Because God will want to test how you are able to handle and handle his people. Now, if you don't handle the small, you cannot have the big that is coming up. So this situation might arise for you to seek God, for God to see how you handle whatever situation that is there, and how your effectiveness of how you handle it is how God is going to add more into the ministry. So praise God. I want to tell you that whatever you're going through, whatever is happening to you, you have to wisely, that is a word, wisely handle every situation. Now, you might not lose anyone. You might actually gain a lot of people by your integrity, by your attitude at which you handle a particular situation. It's very important that we have lacked these skills. Many a times we are tempted to start giving out words. We are tempted to defend ourselves when there is a crisis. We are tempted to start to say many words. And the Bible tells us that in the multitude of many words, a sin is found. So each time you face a crisis, be very careful with the words you say. Be very careful with what you utter. The best thing I have tell you is to start from the beginning of this video. You will understand everything. Thank you so much. God bless you. I pray he keeps you and he causes his face to shine upon you. And never you ever think that a situation is there to bring you down and for you to feel discouraged. It's actually there to test your leadership skill, to test your ability, and to promote you to the next level. God bless you and have a wonderful weekend.